Walaikum Salam. In the previous class, we're discussing about Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. We have taken what are the examples with respect to concept definition, point number one. Point number two, examples. Point number three, strength. Point number four, neutralizations, and then limitations. This is the way with which we try to study each theory when we are studying at home, if we are studying. Now, come to the next one. Now, the second concept is Bronsted theory of acids and bases. Some people say Laurie Bronsted theory. Two different persons from different places put forward this theory same time. Now, how to proceed for this? Very simple. What they have suggested, suppose for example, you are having a substance A, it has a tendency to release H plus ion. If there is a substance A which has tendency to release H plus ion in presence of medium. Now the plus point here in this case is you can take water as a medium or you can take any other polar solvent also as a medium, right? So water is not a criteria, as you said, according to Arrhenius theory, that we should talk about presence of water. It is not criteria here in this case. You can take any medium. And once you are having presence of medium, in presence of medium, if a substance is losing H plus ion, releasing H plus ion, donating H plus ion, it is called Bronsted acid, right? Are you able to now see the screen? Is it now visible? No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Nice, nice. No problem. Check. No. Once you talk about Bronsted theory, then we say that the definition of acids and bases is not based upon H plus and OH minus both, right? In case of Bronsted theory, the concept has been developed in terms of only proton, right? They said a substance, point number one, a substance in presence of a medium, maybe water, maybe any other polar solvent. If that substance has tendency to donate a proton, it is said to be acid. Therefore, we can say in short, what is Bronsted acids? Proton donor is known as Bronsted acid. Any substance which donates a proton is known as Bronsted acid. Suppose, for example, you are having a substance, say, for example, B, it has tendency to accept a proton in presence of medium, then we say it is supposed to be a Bronsted base. Therefore, the definition is not based upon H plus and OH minus. It is depend only upon proton donating or accepting. Proton acceptor is Bronsted base, right? Okay. And second plus point, what we can say, if you are discussing comparative account, here there is no requirement of what we can say, sir, we are having the, say, for example, presence of water is required. No, we don't have any requirement of water. However, if it is water, no problem, go ahead. And if suppose, for example, you take any other polar solvent also, in that case, it is possible to justify and define, yes, it is supposed to be a Bronsted acid or Bronsted base, something like that. Okay, come on. Second point. What is second point? Examples. Now, when you go to examples, let us try to compare with the previous discussion. In previous discussion, what you said, sir, protonic acids are supposed to be the acids and metal hydroxides are supposed to be bases. But here we are having some plus point. What is that? Suppose, for example, if I am taking HCl, remember, water is not compulsory, but for our understanding purpose, easily let us take water as a solvent. You can take any other polar solvent. Then what happens? We have formation of, say, for example, like this. We have formation of Cl minus ion, and there is a formation of hydronium ion. Now, when you are having this one, what is happening here? HCl is converting to Cl minus ion. That means HCl is behaving as a proton donor. This is known as Bronsted acid. Whereas water molecule is accepting a proton so as to become hydronium ion. Therefore, water must be called as proton acceptor. It is known as Bronsted base. Hence, we can classify molecules to be an acid and base depending upon whether it is having loss of proton or gain of proton. On the contrary, if, say, for example, I am talking about Cl minus ion, if you are discussing about this reaction to be in this manner, suppose if you say, sir, I want to talk in terms of reversible reaction, then what happens? Cl minus ion is turning to HCl. It is accepting a proton. If it is accepting proton, it is supposed to be Bronsted base. More than one we are having. Similarly, suppose, for example, you are saying hydronium ion. Hydronium ion is converting to water molecule. It is losing a proton, donating a proton, donor. It is called Bronsted acid 2. This implies if you want to have a comparative account, here in this case, not only we are able to define acids or bases in terms of a simple manner known as loss of proton or gain of proton. On the contrary, we are able to define ionic species also, right? In the previous case, when we were discussing Mr. Arrhenius, we have taken examples only with respect to molecular species. But here, along with molecular species, we are having a plus point that we can go for ionic species also, but not a very good advantage or plus point. However, it is said to be a plus point for what we can say Bronsted theory of acids and bases, right? On the contrary, apart from that, we are able to define ions. Now see here, HCl. Who is that fellow? HCl is a Bronsted acid. Compare that along with Cl minus ion. Who is Cl minus ion? Very simple, sir. It is a Bronsted base. Now let us make a pair. We are having acid base pair, Bronsted acid base pair, and you are having a specialty in this acid base pair that they differ by a single proton. Any such acid base pair which differ by a single proton is called conjugate acid base pair, right? Conjugate acid base pair is defined as that pair of acid and base which differ by a single proton, right? Therefore, here we can have one more thing, sir. We are able to define a new idea that suppose, for example, if I write HCl and Cl minus ion, then how to proceed? Cl minus ion is conjugate base. The word conjugate base means base only, but the word conjugate is indicating some relation with respect to some member. Similarly, when I take HCl, right, here Cl minus ion, what is the other aspect I can say? Okay, going backward reaction, HCl is conjugate acid of Cl minus ion, right? Similarly, suppose for example you are talking about, sir, I want to enjoy that fellow, water. Hydronium ion and water, they are making a pair of acid and base which differ by a single proton. Therefore, I should say hydronium ion. Let me take first water molecule. Water molecule is H2O is conjugate base of hydronium ion. On the contrary, hydronium ion is conjugate acid of water molecule. A new idea has been developed by conjugation. Conjugate acid base pair differs. What is the meaning of this? Whenever we are saying the word conjugate acid base pair, differs by a single proton. Remember that point. It differs by a single proton. A proton. Okay. Come on. Let us take an example to enjoy that. I am having H3PO4. Let us say phosphoric acid. If it is considered as an acid because it can have a tendency to release proton donor, it will give you H2PO4 minus dihydrogen phosphate ion. What is this? Conjugate base of phosphoric acid. What is phosphoric acid? Conjugate acid of this one because there is a difference of a proton. No, sir. H2PO4 minus can also have further loss of one more hydrogen so as to give you biphosphate ion, hydrogen phosphate ion, right? What is hydrogen phosphate ion? Conjugate base of this acid, right? And what is this? Dihydrogen phosphate ion is conjugate acid of this substance. Similarly, furthermore, HPO4 2 minus, if it is losing a proton, it will form PO4 3 minus. Right? This implies phosphoric acid has a 3 stages of releasing proton. Therefore, in stoichiometry chapter, we have called this as tribasic acid. Valency factor is 3. Okay. By the way, let us learn one more thing. What is that? Sir, we are talking about H2PO4 minus. You are saying it is an acid. Of course, you are using the word conjugate, but that word is used only to indicate the relation, right? So we are having conjugate acid, and this is base. This is an acid, this is a base. That means same substance is having two properties here, behaving as an acid and a base. That type of substance is called as amphoteric substance. Some authors say amphiprotic. Yes, it is correct. Amphoteric and amphiprotic substances. Yes, concept of Bronsted theory helps us to understand the idea, the terminology known as amphoteric character. For example, suppose if I take hydronium ion. Who is this fellow? Donor, Bronsted acid, right? After donation, it becomes water. What is water? Water is conjugate base of hydronium ion. No, sir. Water can give you OH minus ion. And what happens here? Water is also behaving as an acid. Okay, according to Bronsted-Arrhenius theory, what is water? Solvent. What is water? Medium, right? Whereas here in this case, when you talk about water, we are saying water is behaving as an acid as well as a base. Therefore, according to Bronsted theory, doctors, according to Bronsted theory, water is amphoteric in nature, according to Bronsted theory. Suppose, for example, if you take OH minus ion, if you go to Arrhenius theory, it is a standard reference member for base. But see here, if you take OH minus ion, it will release H plus ion to give you oxide. And who is this fellow? It is an amphoteric substance according to Bronsted theory. Therefore, whenever we are discussing Bronsted theory concept, it has a plus point that it does not require water only as a medium. However, if you take water, go ahead, no problem. You can take polar solvent also. It explains molecular species and ionic species. It explains conjugation among the acids and bases. It gives you the idea of amphoteric character also. Right? Okay. By the way, when you are enjoying the word of amphoteric nature and conjugate acid base pair, let us try to enjoy one question, 4 marks question. Suppose, for example, if I am taking HCl. When I write HCl, all of you say, sir, it is an example of strong acid, right? We know it very well. Let us take one more fellow, acetic acid. Who is this fellow? It is an example of weak acid. We are having strong acid and weak acid. Come on, keep that in your mind. Let us go ahead. If it is made to react with water, what happens? We are having formation of Cl minus ion and we are having formation of hydronium ion, right? Bronsted acid base definition we understood already, no need of repetition. Come on, now see here carefully. You are saying HCl is strong acid. What is the meaning of word strong acid? Strong acid means it has very high tendency to release a proton. Okay, if you apply this idea in terms of chemical equilibrium concept, then you can say, sir, it means to say forward reaction is having more or higher rate. Rate of forward reaction is more. Okay, what is the meaning of rate of forward reaction is more? It also means to say that Cl minus ion is having less tendency to accept H plus ion to become HCl because forward reaction is having more effectiveness. Therefore, backward reaction takes place to this much extent. Okay, if it is so, what is the meaning of that? This means to say that Cl minus ion is conjugate base of HCl. Yes, this is the first point. But the next point is chloride ion is conjugate base. Every conjugate base of strong acid is a weak base. Every conjugate base of strong acid is a weak base because a strong acid is supposed to have forward reaction more effective than that one. If you enjoy the similar type of concept, if you talk about acetic acid is a weak acid. It will release, donate a proton so as to become acetate ion, and water molecule behave as an acceptor to become hydronium ion. Now you are saying acetic acid is a weak acid. That means indirectly you are accepting that rate of forward reaction is less, and also of course you are accepting rate of backward reaction is more. If you are saying so, you are accepting that acetate ion is a strong conjugate base. Acetate ion is supposed to be strong conjugate base. This implies what we have learned here. We have learned a 4 marks question. That is that conjugate base of strong acid is a weak base, and conjugate base of weak acid is a strong base, right? Now you can apply this to so many examples and enjoy that whenever you are doing study hours. That is the plus point of Bronsted theory of acids and bases. Nice. Next. By the way, let us enjoy one more 4 marks question. Suppose, for example, you are saying, sir, let us try to have one example like this. Water. Allow it to react with HCl. Now, I am not taking water as medium. Remember, that is Arrhenius theory. Here, water is also a substance. Okay. Now, when you are reacting water with HCl, then what happens? Sir, we are having formation of Cl minus ion, and along with that, we have hydronium ion. Now, check up. What is the behavior of H2O? Sir, it is accepting a proton. It is called Bronsted base. Now I have taken water molecule, and along with this water molecule, suppose for example, if I am discussing, we are having ammonia. Okay, then what happens? Ammonia becomes ammonium ion and water will become OH minus ion. In this reaction, what is happening? Sir, water is behaving as a donor. It is Bronsted acid. Right. Now, if you see these two examples, of course, you have to accept that water is amphoteric in nature. But the other side of the photograph is Bronsted theory has a beauty. I enjoy the term beauty. Some people say it is a drawback. Bronsted theory has a beauty that it fails to explain absolute nature of any substance. Who is this? It is an acid. No, we cannot say. Who is this? It is a base. No, we cannot say that one. Why? Sir, first of all, if you want to define any substance XYZ, see nature of the neighboring substance. If neighboring substance is a stronger acid, this fellow XYZ will behave as a base. If the neighboring substance or attacking substance or shaking hand substance is a stronger base, it will behave, water will behave, or XYZ will behave as a weak acid. This implies definition of an acid and base absolutely not given by Bronsted theory. We have relative theory, relative concept, comparative concept, right? As if we say that your behavior, if you are systematic, disciplined, and polite, classes will continue very much usually. No, sir, we are rough and we are having no discipline. There will be a lot of disturbance in the classes. Bronsted theory says the same thing. Water, if suppose, for example, water is coming along with HCl, water says, no problem, HCl, you are strong acid, I'll behave as a base. No problem. When ammonia comes in front of water, water says, ammonia, you are a base. Please behave like a base. I will behave like an acid. That means we have relative definition, comparative definition of Bronsted concept, acid or base. You cannot say a substance, it is always an acid. No, right? We can define ammonia to be base. We can define ammonia to be also as an acid, depending upon who is the neighboring member. Therefore, Bronsted theory provides relative definition of acids and bases. Please go ahead if you have any doubt. Well, again, old bad habits. Someone is raising hand and all that thing. I don't care about all those things. If you have really scientific doubt and if you are a really student, please, chat box is open. You can write your doubt, sir, what is the problem? We can enjoy that one. Remaining things are all stupid things. You know me properly, I hope so. Doctors give more importance to theories of acids and bases. In IIT syllabus, in mains examination, we use this concept. But for you, for doctors, this is a possible question. Rabah said you have written wrong, beta. You have written wrong. I said conjugate base of strong acid is weak. Conjugate base of weak acid is strong. I have written. Did I written in wrong way? Conjugate base of strong acid is weak. You are writing conjugate base of strong acid is strong base. राइट ये क्लियर है इसका मतलब आप पढ़े नहीं सही इस वास्ते आपको समझ में नहीं आया ये सही है देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है conjugate base of strong acid is weak. Why it is weak? See that length of the arrow. Forward arrow is longer. It means HCl has more tendency to go towards forward direction. Backward arrow is of shorter length. Cl minus ion. What is backward? Cl minus ion is accepting H plus ion from this hydronium ion to go backward, but it is going slowly. It means Cl minus ion has lesser tendency, weak. Which weak? Basic nature. Therefore, I have written conjugate base of strong acid is weak base, and you have asked me stronger conjugate base strong acid is strong base. That is wrong. पहले अच्छा देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है ऑटोमेटिकली समझ में आएगा राइट आई थिंक आई हैव एक्सप्लेन दैट प्रॉपर्ली गो अहेड इज इट क्लियर नाउ see the screen properly okay nice go ahead fine no problem go ahead is it over fine now what are the points over we have taken let me come back to normal right we have taken definition we have taken examples we have defined amphoteric character conjugate system which is very important and then we have defined a very special property known as relative nature there is one more type of discussion here available with respect to Bronsted theory let us go to that one what is that see here suppose for example you are saying sir I want to define I want to discuss about the strength of the acid second point is strength of the acid we can say simply yes sir I know it because in the previous case Arrhenius theory tendency to release H plus ion tendency to release OH minus ion exactly in a similar way I'll copy the statement tendency to donate H plus ion tendency to accept H plus ion yes according to Bronsted theory of acids and bases strength of an acid depends upon tendency to release or to accept H plus ion therefore strong acid strength of an acid or base depends upon tendency to release H plus. Okay, the word release may not be enjoyable here. To donate H plus or to accept. Okay, fine. Next, and this is a beautiful information. Suppose, for example, if I ask you a question, arrange HI, HBr, HCl, and in increasing order of acidic strength, then what happens? Directly you'll go to Krishna Mohan sir class and you say, sir, he said, as we go down the group, atomic size increases, electronegativity decreases, therefore effectivity of the bond with H plus ion decreases, therefore tendency to release H plus ion is more in case of HI, therefore according to inorganic person, this is the statement. Yes, it is correct, but this is the 50% story. The remaining 50% story is this is correct only in case of non-aqueous solvents. Remember, this is correct only in case of non-aqueous solvents. HI is stronger than HBr. Yes, he is right. Stronger than HCl. This is true in case of non-aqueous system. On the contrary, suppose for example, I let a very big but in presence of water. Now, in presence of water, what is the behavior of water? Let us listen to that carefully. Water is amphoteric substance according to Bronsted theory. Now, what is the meaning of Arrhenius? See, and how the way of functioning of water. Water is standing in a beaker and one fellow is coming, HCl. Once water saw that the water molecule, HCl molecule is coming, he says, HCl, you are strong acid, and I will completely ionize you to give H plus and Cl minus ion. HBr comes. Water says, you are strong acid, and I am having a property that if you are strong, I will also behave strongly. If you are weak, I will not change my noble character. I am having same character. It's your problem that you are having strength, stronger or weaker. So whenever any strong substance comes, water will, all of them break up to every substance equal extent. This is called leveling effect of water, right? Why it is so? It is because of two reasons. Number one, IIT people, 4 marks. Number one, polar nature of water. That is, of course, available with any polar solvent. That is not specialty, but specialty is high dielectric constant of water, right? Water has very high dielectric constant. Sir, what is dielectric constant? Yes, dielectric constant is a property. If suppose physics person is standing in front of you, he says dielectric constant is a property of medium, which is measured as a force of attraction between two charged bodies when they are kept in medium, when they are kept in air. Yes, not in chemistry class. In physical chemistry class, dielectric constant is the power of a solvent to break up into molecular to ionic form, power of solvent to ionize the solvent. Higher is dielectric constant, more is the ionizing power. And we know the dielectric constant of water is 81, no units, 81, and it is highest. Therefore, people say water is universal solvent. It will ionize all the substances, but it has one special property because of high dielectric constant that it will ionize to complete extent. Therefore, because of this, we say leveling effect. But in presence of water, remember, all strong acids are equally strong. Yes, this is known as leveling effect of water. Water is therefore called leveling solvent in higher classes. And if suppose, for example, there is any other solvent such as ammonia, acetic acid, they make a difference like this, right? And they are called differentiating solvents. Acetic acid is differentiating solvent, ammonia is differentiating solvent, but water is leveling solvent, right? What is that? All strong acids are, all strong bases are equally strong in presence of water. This is called leveling effect of water. IIT students, once again I am saying leveling effect of water. I'll use this when I am doing the problems also. Enjoy that. Keep in your mind. Leveling effect of water. And why it is so? Because of its high dielectric constant. Very high dielectric constant. Dielectric constant is K. #81. Okay, all strong acids and all strong bases are strong. What about weak fellows? When weak substance comes, water says, I don't want to change my habit. I don't want to change my property, but bad luck, you are a weak fellow. I want to ionize you, but you don't have the tendency to get ionized. Therefore, leveling effect word is not meaningful in case of weak electrolytes. For weak acids and weak bases, the leveling effect of water loses its significance. Leveling effect word is applicable only for strong electrolytes. For weak, it is not applicable. All right, next. What is the neutralization? I am going in sequence. What is neutralization? Last case, what you said, sir, it means acid and base react together to form salt and water. Okay, nice, Arrhenius theory. But what is here? No, not like that. There is no requirement of salt formation. If there is an acid-base reaction, acid should lose a proton, base should get that proton, and there must be formation of conjugate acid-base pair. Yes, wherever you are having a chemical reaction where you have formation of conjugate acid-base pair, it is neutralization. It is neutralization. All this is neutralization. See here, HCl plus water is neutralization according to Bronsted theory. No salt formation, no water formation. It has different approach, different way of enjoyment. Therefore, people say, what is neutralization? Neutralization is process of formation of conjugate acid base pair. Nice. Right? You can take example from the previous. I am somewhat lazy fellow. You can take example from that previous discussion. Come on, next. What are the limitations? But before going to have limitations, we have to honor that fellow. We have to appreciate that he has given the concept of any medium other than water also. He has given the concept of conjugation, conjugate acid-base pair system, amphoteric system, and relative strength of acids and bases, leveling effect of water. All that are the plus points. However, Bronsted theory fails in certain cases. For example, in olden days, when you have 1947 love stories, metal oxides are bases. Calcium oxide is a base. Now ask Mr. Bronsted, who are you? How you are going to react with this? He says, are you having tendency to give H plus ion? No. Are you having accepting tendency? No. Then I don't know what about calcium oxide. Therefore, remember, basic nature of metal oxides cannot be explained. Nice. No, sir. Acidic nature of non-metal oxide. I don't write nitrogen N here. Cannot be explained. Right. Okay. Next. Some author says, I don't agree with that one. It is providing relative definition, comparative definition. What is absolutely? No, we don't know. Acid, HCl is acid always. No, you can't say that. You have to see who is the attacking substance. So some people say, according to IP orientation, you can say, sir, it will not provide absolute definition of acids and bases. It will provide comparative definition of acids and bases. Right? Next. There are certain substances which we cannot define. For example, if I ask you, what about Mr. Bronsted and Laurie? Tell me about BF3. They say, we don't know anything about this fellow. If I ask them, what do you think about AlCl3? They say, no, we can't have any problem. Cannot be explained. nature of these substances, right? These are the limitations of Bronsted theory. Yes, this is over. These are the two theories which we have to follow in the whole chapter. But in our syllabus, as a formality, we have to complete. There is one more fellow. He has a, what is that one? Lewis theory of acids and bases. He has different approach, completely different idea. What is that? We'll discuss on the next screen. First of all, write down this, then we'll proceed. Any questions to ask? Limitations. I have said that it is unable to explain the basic nature of metal oxides because if you take calcium oxide, it can neither release a proton nor accept a proton. So when there is no proton, Bronsted theory say I am unable to help you because I should talk about a substance which either gives H plus or takes up H plus. Calcium oxide will not do anything. Similarly, non-metal oxides, for example, nitric oxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur trioxide, they are a very good example of acids. But sulfur trioxide, can you have removal of H plus? No chance. Can you have accepting H plus? No chance. Therefore, even though they are having acidic nature, they can't be explained. Similarly, BF3, AlCl3, these molecules are typical. They don't have tendency to accept or to release. Therefore, for such molecules who are unable to do the job of loss or gain of proton, Bronsted theory says sorry for that, right? They are unable. Actually, it is not a defect. Being a science student, I should say it is not defect, it's a beauty. Everyone has their own area of working. Arrhenius theory, one area, water compulsory. Bronsted theory, any medium, any molecule, any ion, but electron deficient compounds cannot be taken, something like that. Similarly, Lewis theory, it has its own area. Is it over? Fine, very good, very good. Go ahead, go ahead. Done. All right. Now, Lewis theory, if I start, it will take some time to complete. In between, if it is disconnected, you cannot enjoy the beauty of that concept. That we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.